Is this video just going to be me praising the bench press? Yes, it's going to be. Hi, my name is Milan. I share my lessons here on YouTube. And as I said, we're going to be discussing the bench press and why it is such a great exercise. And without further ado, let's begin. So the first thing that I'd like to discuss is my story with this specific exercise. And let's begin. So I remember when I started lifting, every single person used to bench press. Every single person you saw at the gym would do bench press at least once per week. And at a certain point in time, science-based lifting grew like a motherfucker when it comes to the fitness community. And after a while, people just stopped doing this exercise. Me, myself, I also stopped doing it because I couldn't get stronger, okay? I hit 100 kilograms, or maybe I hit 105. It doesn't really matter. Basically, I did 225 pounds. After that point, I really just stopped benching because I was like, bro, I can't get to 110 and 120 and so on because it's difficult. I started doing all this fancy shit like incline dumbbell, deep stretch press, and so on. I wanted to focus strictly on hypertrophy. I didn't care about powerlifting benefits and so on. So I stopped doing regular bench press for, I believe, 2 years almost. And I remember this day in the gym, me and my gym bro were training, and I was like, I could actually start this chest day with regular bench press. And at that point, my chest was actually shit. I remember at that point, my arms were relatively developed, but my chest was just flat. It was shit. And slowly, I started to fall in love with this exercise again, and my chest grew more than it did from all of these fancy exercises where you get that super deep stretch, you do the slow eccentric. I started doing bench press, powerlifting style, like 3 to 4 reps, all the way to failure every single set, and so on, and my chest grew. Oh, and by the way, if you want to get private coaching from me, then the first link in the description is my Instagram. You can message me there and we'll set something up. Now, back to the video. The point is, I really like this exercise, and that's why I want to talk about it. I don't like the fact that people see this as a non-optimal exercise. You can do it, but don't do it too much. It's not an optimal exercise. Bro, what are we talking about? The bench press, fully compound in every single way. So you're hitting your chest, shoulders, and tricep. You can also modify it to hit more of your chest if you go really wide. You can also modify it, or you can also modify it to hit your triceps by going narrow and getting that deep stretch, as well as you can train it for purely hypertrophy. You can also do it for powerlifting, but the technique is mostly the same. So when you're on racket, you go slowly all the way down. If you want to do it for powerlifting, then you lower it all the way to your chest, to your nipple line. You hold it for a few seconds, and then you go up basically as fast as you can. Now, the exact technique is like a metro. So when a train starts, for example, it doesn't go like one from 200 miles an hour. No, it goes like 0 miles per hour, then 10, then 20, and so on. And it basically accelerates all the way up to a faster speed. Now, the same is with bench press. So you don't want to do like full muscular contraction all the way right from the start. No, you slowly go and then you're at lockout. That's the ideal technique. Now, if you want to do it for bodybuilding, you do the same thing, but you don't rest the bar on your chest. So what powerlifters do, they basically hold the bar, or they leave the bar at their chest and they go up. Well, in your situation, if you want to do this for bodybuilding, you just lower the bar and you hold that, you feel that deep stretch, and you go up. Usually, what I would recommend is for bodybuilders to go higher reps and for powerlifters to go lower reps, but what the science actually confirms is that is all irrelevant. You can train like a bodybuilder and do 5 reps. You can also train like a powerlifter and do 12 reps on the bench press, and you'll still feel fine and you'll see the gains eventually. Now, people say that, but technically, if you do incline, then your lower chest will grow the same, but you'll get that upper chest benefit. What I found from my experience is that is totally incorrect. I did the incline press, I did the incline dumbbell pressing, and that didn't really grow my chest. Now, do you know what did grow my chest? Barbell bench. Barbell bench, one of the most legendary exercises that people don't do nowadays because it doesn't have that full, extreme big stretch. I can't believe people would rather do nowadays, the guys that are in the science-based community, they'd rather do cable crossovers or, let's say, butterflies than doing bench press. How can you do it's like comparing lat pullovers to a pull-up. The pull-up is such a legendary back exercise, and in my opinion, it's one of the best back exercises if you want to get width and thickness. And the same story is with barbell bench. Do you want to have a chest like me where I'm recording and you can literally see my chest line right there? Then start doing barbell bench. Now, what are some accessories that you can do? You can do normal dumbbell presses, but go much lower than you would normally. So you want the dumbbell to actually touch the outside of your shoulder or bicep. That will be extreme if you've never done this, but it also does grow your chest, and it supports your bench if you're a powerlifter. Doing dips is also fine, but from what I found, if you're doing perfect dips, like going all the way down, getting that deep stretch, you're going relatively slowly on the eccentric, yeah, it's gonna be difficult, and you won't be able to do more than 5 reps if you're over 200 pounds like myself. Now, if you're shorter and you don't weigh that much, you can use external load and so on and so on. But still, the point of this video is to explain to you that yes, you can do barbell bench for hypertrophy and for powerlifting or whatever your goals may be. Plus, if you're ever in a situation, you can go up to a girl and say like, yo, I want to bench you real quick, and you just start benching her. I don't know, you get on the floor. What am I even saying, bro? You can also do overhead presses if the top portion of the bench is actually the hardest. So there are, I guess, 3 sections of the bench press. The lower section, or the first third, is actually the hardest if your chest is underdeveloped. The middle portion is just general weakness, so you need to up your game when it comes to everything: the chest, tricep, shoulders. If the top portion of it is the hardest, then your triceps or shoulders are the problem in that situation. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to, you can watch this video right here, and I'd highly appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel here. First link in the description is my coaching. Message me on Instagram and we'll set something up. And as always, see you at the top.